Bobcat fans, welcome in. Daniel Sally coming to you live inside Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, sitting in the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth as we get ready for some non-conference action here in Bozeman between the Bobcats of Montana State and the visiting Gales of St. Mary's College. Let's go ahead and open things up by talking about these Montana State Bobcats. It's been a while since we've seen them take the floor. 5-4 this season in year 18 for head coach Tricia Binford, and it's been 10 days since they last took the floor. They played at Wyoming back on December 2nd. It was a 67-59 loss, right on the heels of a major win here at the Brick against South Dakota State. And that's kind of been the story so far this non-conference season for the Bobcats. There's been some highs and there's been some lows, but they keep staying the course, and they've had a big week this last week. Notice the break in between these games to be able to just focus on themselves, practice, not worry about a scouting report for a few days, and just tune up some things that they do as a team. So they got a big stretch coming up, and they'll be benefiting surely from that break to be able to focus on themselves. You'll hear Coach Binford talk a little bit more about that in her interview that we'll hear in just a little bit. And like I said, a big game at home tonight against the visiting Gales of St. Mary's. Now let's go ahead and break down St. Mary's and see why they're going to be in hot water tonight. Brought to you by Mountain Hot Tub. Mountain Hot Tub is Montana's largest hot tub dealer since 1979. Your authorized hot spring spa dealer with locations in Bozeman, Butte, and Helena. St. Mary's 6-3 so far on the season. It's year 17 for their head coach Paul Thomas. So two veteran head coaches going toe-to-toe in tonight's game. They're coming off of a 68-65 overtime win at Boise State on Friday. Their losses, 3 of them on the year, but all to very good teams in Rice, Cal, and Kansas. And they got one common opponent with this MSU team, and that's San Jose State, a team that MSU went and beat on the road in overtime. That's a team that St. Mary's did beat by 15 points. You know, transitive property, probably not the most appropriate teller to look at two different teams, especially during the non-conference schedule, but take with that information what you will. And this is a team, they got tons of motion in their offense. It's pass and cut, stop at the rim. If the pass is there, keep going. A lot of give and goes, a lot of Laker cuts where you throw it in from the wing right to the post and follow that cut right towards the post. See if you can get that quick entry pass and get the layup. So they're going to try and catch you sleeping on defense a lot, and that'll be big for the Bobcats to kind of stay attentive on the defensive end and not get beat on those silly cuts. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from the head coach of the Montana State Bobcats. That's Tricia Binford. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield.
here this evening. Not here this evening, but with us in spirit, our Blair Braxton, Red Gardner, Gabby Monkey, and Ashley Van Sickle. Presenting championship rings to MSU Director of Athletics Leon Costello and Deputy Athletics Director Casey Fox is head coach Trisha Victor.
Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, and on the court right now, a lot of smiles as the Bobcats, returning from last season's Big Sky Conference Championship, are currently receiving their championship rings from last season. So really a special moment right now on the court as the teams go out there and get recognized by Leon Costello and Casey Fox and get their rings. And while they do so, let's go ahead and talk about tonight's keys to the game presented by Kendall Ford. And the first one is that rest and being back home for this Montana State team. And like I talked about earlier, a much needed week to just practice, focus on themselves, get ready for a big stretch coming up between this game tonight against a tough St. Mary's team. They go on the road to Maui later this week, and they face LSU, yes, that LSU, and Nevada. So those will be a couple big games. Then right after that, Cal Poly, and, of course, the conference season immediately to follow. So that rest should be crucial, and expect the Bobcats to look really fine-tuned and very in sorts in this game tonight. Another one is just these rings, the friendly reminder of what we're playing for and what they want to accomplish, what they've already accomplished, what the journey takes to go out and do that again. So another reminder for this Bobcat team, another key for tonight's game. And like Coach Binford said in the interview, the third one and final key to the game is the return of Kola Badbear back in the lineup after missing 4 games. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll have tip-off between St. Mary's and Montana State coming up next. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Montana State and St. Mary's, little non-conference action. We'll go ahead and meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Gales of St. Mary's, starting at guard, number 3, a 5'10 junior out of Melbourne, Australia. Number 3, Leah Hannafin. At guard, number 10, a 5'9 junior out of Auckland, New Zealand. That's Taylor Dalton. Also at guard, a 5'9 sophomore out of Melbourne, Australia, number 21, Hannah Rapp. At the forward position, a 6'2 sophomore out of Bellingham, Washington, number 25, Aspen Garrison. And rounding it out, this is the star player of this St. Mary's team, number 33, a 6'3 junior out of Walnut Creek, California, averaging 17.7 points per game, playing 31 minutes a night, shooting 50% from the field. That's Allie Bamberger. So don't be surprised if you're going to hear that name a lot this evening, and that'll round out the starting five for this St. Mary's team, coached by Paul Thomas, the head coach in his 17th season at the helm of the program. And now the starting five for your Montana State Bobcats. Head coach Tricia Binford rolling out the starting five. At point guard, a 5'6 senior out of Boise, Idaho. That's number 0, Darian White. At guard, a 6'2 junior out of Silver City, New Mexico, number 11, KJ Lamardo. At guard as well, a 5'9 junior out of Midland, Texas, number 15, the one they call Leah Buckets. That's Leah Beatty. Out there in the front court, a 6'2 freshman out of Vancouver, British Columbia, the freshman, number 32, Merritt Dykstra. And rounding it out, welcome back to the starting lineup and welcome back to this MSU basketball team, the 6'2 senior out of Billings, Montana. That's Culla Badbear. And, you know, I want to take the time right now, tip the cap to Lexi Deaton, who will be coming off the bench again tonight, but boy, did she produce in those games she came in and started in the absence of Culla Badbear. It's not easy when you're missing an all-conference post player, especially the way MSU plays. They like to go through their posts, and Lexi Deaton stepped in and answered the call. Multiple games in double figures. She led the team in scoring with 17 points in that South Dakota State game as well. So kudos to Lexi Deaton. She's someone obviously who's been producing all season long, but stepping into that starting role and really making a difference for this Bobcat team as both teams get ready to take the floor here tonight. A big matchup in the non-conference schedule for this Montana State team. St. Mary's, like I said, 6-3 on the season out of the West Coast Conference. Of course, Montana State already playing one team so far this season out of that WCC, the BYU Cougars, back in November, and they went on the road and got a win there. Looking to make it 2-0 against the WCC tonight at the Brick. St. Mary's taking the floor in their navy blue tops, navy blue bottoms, white trim on the shorts and jersey, red St. Mary's across the dress, and red numbers for the Bobcats there in their home whites, white top, white bottom, blue numbers, Montana State on the front, and blue trim. Merritt Dykstra going toe-to-toe with Allie Bamberger in the center circle. Ball's tossed up by the ref, and it's tipped back by St. Mary's. They'll go left to right across your radio dial. With the ball across half court is Taylor Dalton. Dalton passes it near side. With it now is Rapp. It's taken away by the Bobcats. Darian White comes up with a steal to the other end, going right to left. White in transition, steps back in the short corner. Nobody's going to get the ball from her. She's trapped over there. Now she gets it over to Dykstra. Dykstra up high. Dykstra's going to work it to her right. Hand off to Beatty. Beatty off the bounce. Driving to the short corner. 12 seconds on the shot clock for Montana State. Skip pass over to Lamardo in the near corner. Lamardo post entry to Badbear. Badbear in the short corner. She's going to bounce it. Spin to her left. Step through move. Blocked by Bamberger. Knocked out of bounds. No, it's saved. Bobcats keep it. Leah is going to have to try and get one up, but the shot clock runs out, and the Bobcats will turn it over with a shot clock violation on their first possession. It'll go right back to St. Mary's, going left to right. Taking the ball up the court. It's number 10, Taylor Dalton. Dalton, pass over to Rapp, back to Dalton up top. Now Hannafin has it. Hannafin, back out top to Rapp. Correction, that's Garrison. Garrison, back to Dalton. Dalton fumbles it, now works back up top. St. Mary's with 10 on the shot clock. Up top, Hannafin. She's going to get a high ball screen. They're going to switch it. Darian White picks up on Hannafin. 4 on the shot clock. She loses it out of bounds, and it's turned over. Bobcats forcing 2 turnovers on their first 2 defensive possessions. Of course, a shot clock violation on the offensive end, so 3 straight turnovers by both teams to start this ball game. Darian White getting the Cats into their offense. White passes it to the corner. St. Mary's in their 3-2 zone. We're going to see a lot of that tonight as well. White back at the top. Now Lamardo. They go to the high post. Merritt Dykstra, skip pass, Leah Beatty. Now Darian White. White, jab step, back to Beatty. Corner 3 from Beatty. Got it! Leah Beatty from downtown. And the Cats strike first on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, 3-0. And that's another Bobcat three-pointer sponsored by Wendy's. St. Mary's at the top. With it is Garrison. Garrison, skip pass to the corner. Dalton looking to drive middle. Dumps it off to the low post. And we got a traveling violation that time called on Aspen Garrison. She tried to use a little arm bar to create some space on the block and took a little extra step there. So the Bobcats, again, forcing another turnover. Nicely done on the defensive end. This team very known for their defensive prowess, and it's showing again tonight. Mara Dykstra will take the ball out for the Cats. Darian White working it up the court. She'll get the Cats in their offense. St. Mary's will stay in that 3-2 zone look. White out top, goes to the high post. Dykstra right over to Lamardo. Corner three, Lamardo got it! KJ Lamardo from downtown. And what a boost it is for this Bobcat offense when Lamardo and Beatty are hitting their threes early. That's a recipe for success. St. Mary's to the other end with it on the far side. It's Garrison. Now Whedon has it. To the far side, Dalton. Dalton looking for the backdoor cutter. She finds her layup from Bamberger up and no good, but Bamberger is fouled. Bobcats got sleeping a little bit that time. Bamberger got the catch running right down Main Street, and it was Leah Beatty coming over from the help side, jumping and fouling the shooter. So Bamberger will shoot two. Allie Bamberger on the season, a 78.4% free throw shooter, so not too shabby at the line. First free throw coming up for Bamberger. It's up, and it's good. Before she takes her second, Montana State basketball from Learfield is brought to you in part by Simpkins Holland. Simpkins Holland believes in the Gallatin Valley future while continuing to honor its past. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Holland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946. Shot up and good from Bamberger. St. Mary's get 2 points on the board, 6-2 your score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Darian White to the top, gets it to Lamardo, far wing. Now Dykstra in the corner, skip pass, Beatty. Three off the rim, no good. O-board, Mara Dykstra. She'll put it back up with her left, and one! Mara Dykstra! There's two things you got to do well from an offensive standpoint when you're facing a zone look. Shoot the three ball and get offensive rebounds. When they're in that zone, they can't get the body on body for the box out, and it opens the door for players like Mara Dykstra, who are relentless on that glass. And now Dykstra at the line looking to complete a three-point play. Dykstra, free throw up and good. So Mara Dykstra with a quick three. 9-2. The Cats lead by 7 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. 7:12 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's has it at the other end. It's Amy West. West pass it off to McKenna Mastra. Mastra has it. Throws inside, looking for Bamberger. It's deflected by Bad Bear. Stolen away. Leah Beatty. Skip pass ahead and transition to Lamardo. Lamardo to Darian White. Corner three. Darian White. Nothing but net. And the Cats are making it rain early on here, folks. 12-2 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. 6:52 to go in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and take a timeout, and we'll have more first quarter action coming up next. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. And before we resume first quarter action here from the Brick, let's go ahead and pause for station ID. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. .6:38 to go here in the first quarter. Bobcats lead 12-2 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. A 3 from Leah Beatty, a 3 from KJ Lamardo, a 3 from Darian White, with and 1 from Mara Dykstra in between. Have the Bobcats up by 10. A 12-2 run to open the game as St. Mary's has it on their end. Far side with the ball now is Ellie Croco. Croco has it. Pass deflected by Leah Beatty. Cats can't come up with the steal, and now we have a shot clock reset. No, we got a timeout called by the officials. Okay, a little confusion over whether or not the shot clock was going to reset off the deflection. Bobcats will bring in their first substitutions. Off the bench coming in will be Lexi Deeden, Grace Beasley, Madison Jackson, and Taylor Jansen. Really a lot of depth on this Bobcat team, so don't be surprised when we're calling these girls' names quite a bit throughout the contest this evening. Inbounding the ball in front of me right here will be Jasmine Farmer. Farmer. They try to go inside, looking for West, and it's deflected and a shot clock violation. The Cats force another turnover. Defensively, they are dialed in early on in this ballgame. 6:19 to go in the first. It's 12-2, MSU in the lead. White to the far side, Beasley. Short corner with it is Lexi Deeden. Deeden takes a bounce, picks up her dribble, looking for a cutter. She finds White. White stops at the free throw line, now passes back out top to Jansen. Jansen to Beasley. Here comes Beasley from the wing inside. At the elbow, nothing doing. She passes out to Jackson. Jackson dribbles baseline, up with it in traffic. Off the glass, no good, but a foul called. And Madison Jackson will shoot two. Before she does that, Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by Parenting Montana. Montana parents know parenting isn't easy. ParentingMontana.org provides you with a way to build the skills your children need to be successful. ParentingMontana.org, tools for your child's success. Jack at the line, first free throw up. It's good. She'll shoot one more. Madison Jackson playing some great basketball early on in this season. She'll do whatever you need off the bench. Free throw on the way from Jack. It's good. She hits them both. 14-2. Cats lead by 12 early on in this one on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. 5:52 to go in the first. St. Mary's with the ball at the other end. Here comes the drive. With it is Kirasome. Entry pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's, and the Cats will come up with another turnover. It was Amy West they were looking for at the low block that time, and it was deflected out of bounds, and the Cats get it back. White to the other end, hands off to Jansen. Jansen, step back three. It's good! Taylor Jansen knocking it down off the bench, and the Cats lead by 15, 17-2 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. And that's another Bobcat three sponsored by Wendy's. Far side with the ball's Kirasome. Kirasome looking to drive, picks up her dribble. It's knocked out loose again, and a traveling violation called as Lexi Deeden. She loves those deflections. That time the player got the catch, and Lexi was trying to knock it out, and then she tried to get away from Lexi, and travel was the result of that. So Dylan Phillip will check in for the Cats, and the Cats will get the ball back. 5:14 to go in the first quarter. 17-2 the score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Bobcats rolling early in this one. Last time they started a game like this was last time they were at home against South Dakota State when they opened on a 20-2 run. Jansen inbounds it. Grace Beasley taking it up the floor for Montana State. Beasley across that Bobcat logo, picks up the screen from Dean. Beasley right downhill, draws the foul, and Grace Beasley will go to the line for two shots. That's one of the things Beasley's done best this year is get to the free throw line. She's great at finding that lane, putting her head down, and drawing that contact. Beasley at the line as she gets ready to shoot. Montana State basketball is sponsored by McDonald's and McDonald's Rewards. Download the McDonald's app today and start earning free McDonald's, brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. First free throw from Beasley is up and in. Second one on the way. It's good. Grace Beasley hits two. 19-2. The Cats lead by 17. Quite the start to this ball game for Montana State. 5 minutes even to play in the first quarter. St. Mary's with it. Drive from the far wing. Shot up and no good from Hannah Rapp. Rebound. No rebound. There's going to be a foul called before that. That's on Montana State. Grace Beasley trying to get to that loose ball. A little extra bump with that shoulder there, and St. Mary's will keep it. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. They'll inbound from the baseline. It's Mastora inbounding from the baseline. She throws it in, looking for West, and Deedon comes up with the steal. Deedon, outlet to Beasley. Beasley in transition. Refuses the screen from Deedon, looks to take it inside and loses it out of bounds. That's a turnover by Grace Beasley. 4:46 to go in the first quarter. Cats still leading. Defensively, really holding St. Mary's in check as it's 19-2. Substitution entering the game for St. Mary's. It's Leah Hannafin who started the game. She's checking back in. And a lot of frequent subs on that St. Mary's team. Without a couple of top players so far. Claire Steele not playing tonight. She's one of their top guards. Taking the ball up for St. Mary's is Mastora. Mastora, near side on the wing, gets a screen. Lexi Deedon, head switch, knocks it loose. It's picked back up by St. Mary's. Down low, they find Bamberger. Here comes a double team from Deedon. Bamberger skips it over to the far side. Hannafin drives, and a foul called on the floor that time. Hannafin looked to get downhill to that elbow, and it was a pushing foul. Who'd they get for that one? I think they got Madison Jackson. No, that was Dylan Phillip called that time. So full second unit on the court right now for the Bobcats. Beasley, Phillip, Jackson, Jansen, and Deedon. At the elbow, it's Bamberger. Deedon pokes the ball out. Mastora drives. Shot up, no good. Offensive rebound, though. Put back, no good that time by Hannah Rapp. And the miss is deflected out of bounds by a Bobcat player. I believe it was Beasley going for the rebound, knocked it out, and St. Mary's will keep it. Fresh 20 seconds on that shot clock. 4:13 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's still looking for a bucket. They trail 19-2. Inbounding is Hannafin. Hannafin to the corner, deflected by Grace Beasley and out of bounds. St. Mary's will keep it. Inbounding this time will be Rapp. With the ball up top, Mastora. Mastora to the near side. Rapp, entry past Bamberger, going to work on Deedon. Spins baseline. Deedon knocks it loose. Bamberger picks it back up. Her shot's no good. Now we got a tie-up on the rebound. Jump ball, possession arrow favoring Montana State. And that's what Bamberger likes to do. She likes those post catches, and she likes to bounce it. She's not looking to just do a quick turnaround. She wants to spin around you, run baseline, maybe get a reverse layup, and she tried to do it there and almost did very successfully. But relentless defense once again by the Bobcats as Beasley takes it up to the other end, hands off to Phillip. Now Jackson. Jackson picks up a screen, pull up at the elbow, no good. Rebound pulled down by Farmer. Farmer across half court. She'll push it in transition for St. Mary's. She slows it up at the wing and passes to Rapp. Rapp guarded by Phillip. Swings it back out top. Hannafin has it. Drive, Hannafin up over Taylor Jansen. Shot no good. Rebound, Lexi Deedon. She'll take her time, take a bounce, and give it back up to Grace Beasley. Beasley cross half court. Beasley's going to work to the wing. Jackson goes underneath baseline. Post entry, it's Taylor Jansen. Looking for a cutter. Jansen passes back out top to Phillip. Phillip gets a ball screen from Jansen. Pull up two. Phillip, no good. Rebound brought down by Farmer. And now we got a tie-up at the other end. No, they're going to call a foul on Lexi Deedon. It was Lexi Deedon and Jasmine Farmer going for that rebound. And it looked like Farmer kind of got it pulled out, and then Deedon tried to get right back in on the tie-up, and a little contact on the arm goes a long way as St. Mary's gets it back 19-2. Still the score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. MSU in the driver's seat early. 3:07 to play in the first. Here's a drive to the short corner. Mastora pulls it back out beyond the three-point line. She passes it up top. Hannafin. Now Bamberger. Bamberger, three over Deedon off the rim. No good. Defensive rebound pulled down by Jansen. She'll rip it over to Beasley. Beasley, pitch ahead in transition, finds Phillip. Phillip drives baseline. Layup off the glass and good. Nice bucket there by Dylan Phillip, and that assist from Grace Beasley is sponsored by Aware Mental Health Services. 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Cats lead 21-2. Three-pointer on the other end quickly from Mastora. It's no good, and Lexi Deedon and Taylor Jansen going for the same rebound. They lose it out of bounds. It looks like we got a whole line change coming in for the Bobcats. That starting five re-entering. It's going to be Cola Bad Bear, Mara Dykstra in the front court, joined by a backcourt of Darian White, KJ Lamardo, and Leah Beatty. Inbounding from the far corner, it's Rapp. Rapp can't find the open man. Instead, he throws it deep into the backcourt, and picking it up is Mastora. Mastora, guarded by White, passes it to the left side. With it is Whedon. Whedon looking to drive, goes behind the back, pulls it behind the three-point line, now bounces to her right again. Can't find the cutter, works it back out top. Rapp, 3, off the back iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Aaliyah Beatty. Beatty's going to take it herself. Pitch ahead to Lamardo. Transition, Lamardo back to Beatty. Beatty out to Cola Badbear, excuse me. Badbear works it over to Dykstra at the left wing. Handoff, Lamardo, 3, good! KJ Lamardo! Coming off of a tough performance at Wyoming where she finished 0 for 4, she's 2 for 2 on her first 2 3-point attempts in this one tonight. 6 early points for the Cats, and they are rolling 24-2 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. At the other end, it's St. Mary's. Farmer passes to Rapp. Rapp looking to drive, picked up by Beatty at the elbow, kicks it to the corner. 3 on the way, and that one is good from Addison Whedon. And the Gales snap a long spell that time as they hadn't scored in about 7 minutes. Darian White to the other end. She's going to go straight downhill. Shot up with her left, no good. O-board. Cola Badbear back up with it off the glass, and good. Cola Badbear, welcome back. Her first bucket since that game at San Jose State back in November. Mastora to the other end, looking to drive to her left, puts up a quick lay-in, no good. Rebound brought down by Dykstra. Nice contest at the rim that time by Darian White. Here comes White, out to Lamardo, and White is fouled on the pass. That's going to be the 4th foul on St. Mary's in this quarter, so no bonus quite yet. 1:03 to play in the first. Cats lead 26-5 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Lamardo to inbound from the near sideline right in front of that St. Mary's bench. Lamardo passes it into Darian White. White looking for some motion. Now she's going to get a ball screen up top from Cola Badbear. White down to the elbow, passes out to Dykstra. Dykstra high-low right to Badbear, back to Dykstra. Dykstra 3 from the top. Oh, off the rim, that's no good. And we saw Mara Dykstra knock down her first couple threes of the season at Wyoming. She was the leading scorer in that game. St. Mary's to the other end. Quick pull-up 3 in transition from Dalton, and St. Mary's cuts it back to a 18-point Cats lead, 26-8. 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Badbear at the elbow, looking for Lamardo down low on the post-up. She goes back out to White. White bouncing it to her left. Cats with some nice motion. Crossover, White, broken ankles. Her floater's no good, but she is fouled, and Darian White will shoot 2. And the handle there by Darian White out of this world. 18.5 seconds to go in the first quarter. White will go to the line for 2 free throws. Montana State basketball from Learfield is brought to you in part by Kendall Ford Lincoln of Bozeman, a proud sponsor of Montana State Athletics. From your seat at the game to your driver's seat, enjoy every minute. When you're ready for something new, get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great. Darian White makes her first free throw. She'll shoot 1 more. Second one on the way. And it's good. And how about the Cats right now from the field? They're a perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line, 8 of 14 from the field, and 5 of 7 from 3. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're Montana State. They lead by 20, 28-8. 6 seconds on the clock for St. Mary's. With the ball far side is Kirasome. She passes it back. 3 on the way from, is it Dalton? It is Dalton. She puts it up, and it's good. And we have a 28-11 Bobcat lead on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard following the first quarter of play. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, second quarter action from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth as the Montana State Bobcats lead St. Mary's 28-11 here on a cold Monday, December night. And what a start for this Montana State team as they're setting this gym on fire. St. Mary's with the ball going left to right across your radio dial to open the second quarter. With it near side is Hannah Rapp. Rapp to the near side, Dalton. Dalton looking to throw it down low. It's stolen away by KJ Lamardo. Lamardo hands off to Darian White. White across the timeline, working to the far wing. White gets a screen from Dykstra, now passes out. Dykstra on the pop. Dykstra down low. Bad Bear. Bad Bear spins back to her right. Baby hook. Bad Bear off the glass, and it's good. And I tell you, Bad Bear, she's tricky with that right hand hook as she uses her left hand to kind of fend off her defender down low and just get a quick little bucket. And 30-11, the Bobcats leading. Welcome back, Cola Bad Bear. Up top, it's Rapp. And a foul called. It's an offensive foul. It was Amy West. She was looking to, Aspen Garrison, not Amy West. Aspen Garrison was looking to clear away on the block. Offensive foul called. That'll send it the other way for the Bobcats. And the Bobcats defensively putting together a masterpiece early on. They've already forced 11 turnovers in this ballgame as Leah Beatty gets it at the elbow on the other end. Kick out, Lamardo, three. Good! KJ Lamardo! The Cats are making it rain. 33-11, they lead, and that's another Bobcat 3, sponsored by Wendy's. Near side, St. Mary's quick cut into the middle, getting the ball is Kirasome. She puts up a floater, it's up and good. Nice answer that time by St. Mary's as the Cats take it back to the other end. 8:42 to go in the second. Montana State leads 33-13. Bad Bear at the block, gets it to Beatty. Beatty, three. Oh, off the rim, no good that time. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. Aspen Garrison passes it out to Kirasome. She'll take it down the court. Middle drive. She kicks it back out. Thought about the three that time, was Whedon. She passes it off to Dalton. Dalton now to Rapp. Rapp looking to drive to her left, picked up by Lamardo, kicks it out for three, and that one is good. Addison Whedon putting it up and knocking it down. She's got 6. 33-16, Cats lead. Darian White across the timeline, hands off to Lamardo. Now back to White in the corner, far side. White looking for that corner ball screen from Bad Bear. She gets it. White gets downhill. Now out to Dykstra. Skip pass, KJ Lamardo, and she loses it out of bounds. It was deflected by Hannah Rapp. Lamardo tried to get it back and tipped it right out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover by the Bobcats. 33-16, Cats lead by 17. 7:54 to go in the second quarter. St. Mary's with the ball going left to right. It's Dalton. Dalton picked up at half court by Darian White. Dalton passes to the far side. It's Kirasome. Kirasome stops at the elbow, dribbles back out. Can't find the post entry. She swings it to the wing. Now they get it down low. With it is Garrison. Garrison, baby hook over Mara. Dykstra is up and good. And it's back to a 15-point game. 33-18. Cats lead on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. KJ Lamardo out to Beatty. Beatty drives out to Dykstra now. Elbow, Deedon, jumper. It's short that time. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. Pulling it down was Amy West. West out to Kirasome. Kirasome works near side. Passes out top. With it is Whedon. They swing it over to the far wing. This time with the ball is West. West to Kirasome. In the corner, she drives baseline. Finds a dump pass, and that was a wide open cutter, and the shot is up and good. 30-second timeout called by Coach Tricia Binford. We'll have a media timeout to go with it, so we'll take a break. 6:56 to go in the second quarter. A quick 7-0 run by St. Mary's cuts it back to a 13-point Bobcat lead, 33-20 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. We'll take a timeout and have more second quarter action coming up next. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. 33-20. The Cats lead St. Mary's. 6:53 to go in the second quarter. It's Darian White taking it up the floor. Quick flat screen from Taylor Jansen. Pop three from Jansen. Off the rim, it's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. And a foul called on Lexi Deeden. I don't know. But you live with it. St. Mary's will get it back. Culla Bad Bear will check in as Deeden now I think has 2. That should be her second foul. Not super pleased. St. Mary's will inbound. Taking the ball up the court for the Gales is Talia Dalton. Dalton, near side, Kearsome. Kearsome gets the ball screen. That time it's Amy West. She passes it near side. 3 on the way, and that one is good from Talia Dalton. And now St. Mary's struggling to go inside all game. Now they're shooting those outside threes, and just like that, we're back to a 10-point game. 6:23 to go in the second. Grace Beasley over to Jansen. Jansen hands off to Jackson. Madison Jackson looking to get downhill. Floater from Jack off the back iron, and it gets the roll. Madison Jackson, get her going down that lane. She's going to find the bottom of that net. 6:08 to go in the second quarter. Cats lead by 12. Dalton drives the lane, puts up a floater. It's no good. Nice defense that time, stopping ball by the Bobcats. Here comes Jackson. Jackson hands off to White. White at the wing, near side. Goes down low. Taylor Jansen, she'll go to work at the block. Jansen spins back to her left. That's her strong hand. Off the glass, home for 2. And right there, Taylor Jansen, the best thing she did was she was patient. She got the catch. She didn't rush in to remove. She took the time to survey what was going on around her, saw she had the space, went to work, and now the Cats lead by 14, 37-23, 5.5 minutes to go in the second. Kearsome in the lane, step through, move around Jansen, layup no good, deflected out of bounds, last touch by Bad Bear, and St. Mary's will keep it. And the Bobcats tonight on the defensive glass, it's not the same problem that they've had the last few games where they're just getting beat on the offensive glass. They're getting up and going for those rebounds, and then they keep deflecting them out of bounds. Sometimes it's 2 of them going for the same board, or one of them just going for that tip and no one's there. But nonetheless, it's what continues to happen as they'll look to adjust. Near side with the inbound is Dalton. Dalton shooting the lights out in this one already. She's got 9 points off 3 3-pointers. Dalton gets a ball screen. Lamardo gets right over the top of it. Kick out to the corner. It's out of bounds. They were looking for Mastora that time, and she could not handle the pass. It was a little bit wide. 5:15 to go in the second. Beasley gets it to Jansen. Jansen looking for the cutter. Backdoor, it's Jackson. Deflected away by St. Mary's and stolen by the Gales. To the other end, here comes Dalton. Dalton, skip ahead and transition to Mastora. Mastora goes back to Garrison. Now they swing it near side. It's a 3 on the way from Dalton again, and she knocks it down. That's 4 first-half 3-pointers from Taylor Dalton, and it's just 37-26 Bobcat lead. So still holding on to that double-digit lead, but Taylor Dalton is slowly chipping it away single-handedly. Lamardo drives, gets it out to Jansen. Jansen, now Jackson. Jackson swings it over to Beasley. Beasley skip pass. Lamardo, 3 on the way. Good! KJ Lamardo having herself a night. 40-26. The Cats lead by 14, and Lamardo's got 12. Quick 3 in transition on the other end by St. Mary's. It's rebounded by Beasley. Beasley will push it ahead. Cats have numbers. Beasley slows it down at the wing, finds the trailer. It's Jansen. Jansen, far side. Lamardo again to the corner. Jackson. Jackson looking to drive baseline, wrap around pass to Bad Bear. Bad Bear loses it, going for the loose ball, and a foul is called that time on Dalton. Dalton tugged that arm of Bad Bear that time, and she could not get to that ball. Mara Dykstra checking in the game for the Cats. And for Dalton, that's just her first personal foul. 2 fouls on St. Mary's here in the second quarter, just 1 on the Bobcats, so a pretty clean quarter so far. Cats will inbound from the baseline. It's Beasley. Beasley gets it out to the near side. Jansen has it. She'll hand it back to Beasley. Beasley pump fakes. Looking to cross over. Now she'll work to her right. Back out top, Dykstra. Pump fakes. Had an open 3. Passed it up. Drives the lane. Puts it up. Off the glass. It's good. Mara Dykstra taking it to the rim and getting 2 points as the Cats lead 42-26. 3:45 to go in the first half. Lamardo, deflection out of bounds. It looked like KJ might come up with a steal there. And how about KJ Lamardo, folks? 12 points tonight. She is putting on a clinic from beyond the arc. 4 for 4 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3. And we have an offensive foul that time, as it was Kirasome working to the wing, looking for a dribble handoff, and ran right into a Bobcat player. So a foul called. We'll take it the other way. Cats in the lead, 42-26. St. Mary's has come clawing back a couple different times, but each time someone else comes up with a big shot for Montana State. Taylor Jansen, 3 after the pass from Beasley. It's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. With it is Hannafin. Hannafin gets across half court. To the near side, Kirasome has it. Kirasome will bounce it to her right, now pass it out top. With it is Garrison. Now Bamberger. We haven't seen a ton of Bamberger in this first half. And what's the call here? Looks like a hand check on, no, it was off the ball. KJ Lamardo. She was fighting for position. A trio of subs for the Cats. Darian White, Leah Beatty, Lindsey Hine checking in. Inbounding from the baseline for St. Mary's is Hannafin. Hannafin looking for a cutter. She throws it into the elbow. Shot up. It's no good that time from Garrison. Loose ball rebounded by Leah Beatty. She'll get the quick outlet to Lamardo. Lamardo playing with her head up. Gets across half court. Skip past Darian White. Near side on the wing. Now Dykstra. Dykstra is going to bounce it to her right. Finds the backdoor cutter. It's Lamardo. She picks up her dribble in traffic. Finds a cutting. Dykstra. Dykstra goes up with it. No foul called. Loose ball. Can Mara come up with the rebound? It gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's. And the Cats will keep it on the far sideline. KJ Lamardo will inbound from the far side. Lamardo gets it to White. White calls the play. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hines sets the screen. White downhill, looks to step through, kicks it out to Beatty. 2 seconds on the shot clock, deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Leah Beatty. The Bobcats had to kind of turn into panic mode there with 2-3 seconds left on the shot clock. St. Mary's to the other end. It's Dalton. Dalton passes it to the far side. With it is Hannafin. Hannafin back to the near side. On the wing, it's Rapp. Rapp. Pass across. Three-pointer on the way from Dalton. No good. It seems like she hasn't missed all game. That one is up and out. Rebound Beatty. Beatty out to White. White to Lamardo. Another three from Lamardo. Could it be? It is! KJ Lamardo! 15 first half points for the junior. 45-26. The Cats lead by 19. 2:05 left in the second quarter, and a turnover is forced by the Cats on the other end. Lamardo gets it across half court. Lamardo to Beatty. Beatty drives in, passes it to Dykstra. Dykstra, short corner. She finds Lamardo. Lamardo gets a screen. Pump fakes, passes to Dykstra. 3 from the top. Merritt Dykstra off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by St. Mary's. That time it's Taylor Dalton. And this is the type of weapon KJ Lamardo can be when she's on her A game, folks. 3 and D. She's such a mismatch from a size standpoint at that two-guard position at 6'1". She's relentless on defense all the time, and when that jumper's falling, she cannot be stopped. A foul called that time on the shot. It's on Leah Beatty. Correction on the miss. It was a rebound. That's 3 fouls for the Cats here in the second quarter, so it'll be St. Mary's inbounding from the baseline. Some substitutions checking in for Montana State. Dylan Phillip and Madison Jackson. Leah Beatty and KJ Lamardo will get a rest. Beatty with 2 fouls. You don't want her to pick up that third before the half, so wise move there by the Cats coaching staff. Here's a post up from West. Baby hook to the left side. It rolls right in. 45-28 now the score. Cats lead by 17. 1:18 to go in the second quarter here on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. It's Darian White. White on the wing near side. Refuses the ball screen, works downhill. Floater from White off the rim. It's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. Dalton up the court. She swings it over to her teammate Rapp. Rapp back to the corner. Hannafin has it now down low. Bamberger guarded by Dykstra. Dykstra will take a step back. Bamberger to her right. Baby hook no good. Gets her on O-board. She tries to go back up with it, but it's knocked loose by Dylan Phillip. Out of bounds. Last touch by Montana State. 49 seconds to go in the half. 18 seconds on the shot clock for St. Mary's. Inbounding from the baseline is Hannafin. Three-pointer on the way. It's no good. Rebound brought down by the Bobcats. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. White to Hine. Hine pump fakes, kicks it back to White. And Hine had an open jumper there and didn't take it as White gets the screen in the corner. Pull-up floater with her left hand, no good off the rim. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. With the ball is Dalton. 23 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Shot clock turned off. Cats lead by 17, looking to keep it that way. With it at the top is Dalton, guarded by White. Don't be surprised if they start this action with about 10 seconds. They're going to bring a ball screen. Dalton has it to Bamberger. Now they throw inside. Shot up, no good that time. Rebound pulled down by Dylan Phillip. Going up with it that time was Wes Jackson from half court at the buzzer. It will not go, and the Cats at the half lead St. Mary's 45-28 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. We'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have the Montana State halftime show. Big first half here from Bozeman from these Montana State Bobcats basketball team. And we'll go ahead and talk about it in a little bit on the Bobcat halftime show. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Knocking a half-court shot down in front of the fans. So we love to see that for our buddy Jacob. It's pretty good. So let's go ahead and talk about the first half a little bit. Don't mind my tangent there. 45-28. Cats lead on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard by 17. And what a first half by this Montana State basketball team on both ends of the floor. A couple numbers I want to mention first because they're so crucial. 12 turnovers for St. Mary's. Not a bad number for that Montana State defense. They just kept poking that ball up, kept coming up with those deflections, forced a couple shot clock violations. Really a marvelous defensive performance in the first half by Montana State. The second one for Montana State, 8 of 14 from three-point land. 8 of 14 from three-point land. That really is something. They've had games where they've gone without making more than 5 in 4 straight quarters. So to have 8 in the first half, I mean, that's just tremendous. And KJ Lamardo leading the way there, 5 for 5 from downtown. So those two stats are the ones I wanted to mention first. Super crucial into the way this game has played out through the first 20 minutes. Let's look at some other first half stats, starting with the Bobcats. 15 of 28 from the field, 8 of 14, like I just said, from 3, and those 3-pointers are brought to you in part by Wendy's, and they're 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Rebounding battle, St. Mary's with 18 to Montana State's 13. So if there's one thing to work on for MSU in the second half, it's pulling down those defensive boards. It's continued to be an issue throughout the season, so Montana State's something they want to continue to work on. Some other stats: 8 assists to 5 turnovers for the Bobcats, and those assists are brought to you by Aware Mental Health Services. And Coach Binford told the team this week, she said, we need to get over 15 assists on these makes for us to play our game. And they're getting those assists tonight, and they're on pace to crack that 15 mark, hopefully in what will be a winning effort, depending on how this second half goes. Some big minutes ahead. Obviously, we know how quickly these games can get interesting. We all saw the South Dakota State game, but this Bobcat team, they are playing some motivated basketball here in the Brick tonight in front of their home fans. Those 10 days off, well, not 10 days off, 10 days with no game, I should say, really are making a difference. Some individual numbers for the Bobcats. I already mentioned KJ Lamardo with a game-high 15, 5 for 5 from 3. 5 points, Mara Dykstra. 5 points for Darian White. 4 points for Cola Badbear, 3 for Leah Beatty, 2 for Grace Beasley, 4 for Madison Jackson, 5 for Taylor Jansen, 2 for Dylan Phillip. Everybody's getting on the board, and that's how these coaches want it. They want to share the ball. They want to get a lot of people on the board. They want to get a lot of people in double figures. We already got one with KJ, but Mara on pace to get double figures, Darian on pace to get double figures. So coming together very nicely for Montana State in this first half. For St. Mary's, the big score for them is Taylor Dalton, and in 14 minutes she scored 12 points on 4 of 5 from 3, 4 of 6 total from the field. St. Mary's 10 of 28 as a team, 6 of 11 from 3, and just 2 for 2 at the free throw line. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the second half, and we'll also speak to Coach Sonny Smallwood, talk a little bit about that first half performance by the Cats and what we should look to see in the second half. 45-28, your score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Montana State leads. We'll go ahead and take a break. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here at the half, 45-28. The Cats lead St. Mary's on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. And what a first half it was for Montana State. Shooting lights out all across the board, 15 of 28 from the field, 8 of 14 from 3, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. And, of course, those three-pointers brought to you by Wendy's, our three-point sponsor all season long here on the Bobcat Radio Network. We're going to go ahead and pause for a moment for station identification. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Now back on the halftime show, Daniel Sally inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, joined by the associate head coach of the Bobcats, that's Sonny Smallwood. And Coach Smallwood, first of all, welcome on, and what a first half by your team.
Yeah, that was really fun to see them get their shot rolling and kind of jump out to that big lead, and also playing some nice defense.
And I know she didn't have her best game back at Wyoming the last time we saw her, but KJ Lamardo just lighting it up in the first half, 5 of 5 from 3, and obviously the defensive presence that's always there. Talk about KJ's performance so far.
Yeah, you know, the one thing that KJ consistently brings you is her just relentless defense. So to see her come out tonight with her shot on, and our players really finding her, doing a great job of finding the hot hand, really fun to see both sides of her game come together.
And first half, you guys forced double-digit turnovers on the defensive end. Talk about that and how you plan on continuing that in the second half.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us from the defensive side of things, as we gave up, 17 points in that second quarter, we need to make sure that we take the threes off the board. We need to know who those three-point shooters are, and there's basically two, number 10 and 23. So we need to make sure when we're on them that we're ball pressuring, not giving them those open looks. And if we can control that right now, I think we'll be just fine.
Coach Smallwood, that's all I got for you. Best of luck in the second half.
Thanks, Daniel.
That was Sonny Smallwood, the associate head coach of the Bobcats, after a big first half from her team, and she oversees the defensive side of the ball, and she's got to be very proud of what she just saw in that first half from this Montana State team, as defensively they forced St. Mary's to turn the ball over 12 times. And before we take our last break going into the second half, I mean, really the big thing I'm looking for from MSU in the second half is to keep their foot on the gas. We've seen so far this season they've had some stretches offensively, to be specific, offensively, where they go a few minutes at a time without scoring, and they just can't afford to do that in a game like this. You got a 17-point lead at the break. You got to keep it that way and continue to roll. Make this an easy night for yourselves before the big trip to Maui. We'll go ahead and take a break. 45-28, Cats lead on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Second half action coming up next. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth as we get ready for second half action between Montana State and St. Mary's. The Bobcats leading 45-28 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Out of the break, going left to right across your radio dial, it's Darian White. White to the elbow. Mara Dykstra with the catch. She gets it to Lamardo. Lamardo thinks about the three, but not enough room there, so she passes out to Dykstra. Dykstra, hand off to White. White downhill, back out to Bad Bear. Trail three. Bad Bear off the rim. It's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. It's Hannafin that time. She'll take it going the other way. With it now is Rapp. Rapp to Hannafin, far side. Looking for Bamberger down low. Little three-quarter front there from Cola Bad Bear. And there's that Laker cut I talked about in the pregame show. Hannafin gets it going downhill, but she's cut off by Mara Dykstra. The Bobcats were ready for it. To the other end. Beatty to the top Dykstra. Mara's going to bounce it. Beatty clears. With the handoff, it's Lamardo. Now Bad Bear at the high post. Bad Bear down the lane. Kicks it out to White. 10 seconds on the shot clock. White, little pick and pop out to Bad Bear. Three from Cola, no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. It's Hannafin, and the Bobcats, the Gales will go the other way. First 3 minutes of the second half. Always so important. Talk about it. It's the gospel of Gary Turcotte right there. As there's a backdoor cut. Ball fumbled, knocked loose, and stolen away by Leah Beatty. The Cats going the other way. Dykstra to White. White slows it down. Pull-up jumper at the short corner. No good. Long over the rim. Rebound brought down by Bamberger. St. Mary's will go the other way with it. Is Hannafin. Hannafin across half court. Hannafin guarded by White. Gets a screen. They slip it. Nice job by Darian White rolling with the big. Excellent defensive rotations right now for the Bobcats as they look down low that time. Garrison can't get the catch, and the Cats get a steal. White to KJ Lamardo. Three in transition for Lamardo off the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. That time coming up with it is Hannafin again. Hannafin up to Dalton. Dalton at the wing. Still the same score as halftime, 45-28. Cats in the lead. Garrison looking down low. Darian White gets a hand on it and knocks it loose. St. Mary's will inbound from the baseline. 16 seconds on the shot clock for them. 7:55 to go here in the third. Hannafin inbounding. Gets it far side to Dalton. Dalton looking for Bamberger. She finds her. Bamberger going to work on Bad Bear. Spins baseline. Layup off the glass and good for two. And Bamberger, she's been quiet. She's their leading scorer right now, or leading scorer on the season. So right now they're looking to go to her to start this second half, and that time she gets the catch and gets the bucket. Leah Beatty to the other end, picks up a ball screen, fade away, blocked by the help defender that time. Coming downhill was Hannafin as Beatty thought she had the lane. She got the defender to go on the ball, but then coming from the top was the help defender, Hannafin, blocking it out of bounds. Montana State will inbound from the baseline. 16 on the shot clock. Dykstra at the wing. Down low, Bad Bear. Bad Bear, baby hook to her right. Oh, it's no good. Offensive rebound. Dykstra back up with it off the glass. That's no good. Another O board from Mara. And one! Mara Dykstra! Never quitting on the offensive glass. Gets one offensive rebound. Putback's no good. Gets another offensive rebound. That time, the putback is good, and she gets the foul. 47-30 Cats lead. 7:19 to go in the third quarter. Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by Vance Thompson Vision. See every pulse-pounding, buzzer-beating play in astounding detail with a patient experience that's second to none. Experienced doctors and advanced technology, Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK cataract surgeon of the Bobcats, is your home for laser vision correction. Learn more at VanceThompsonVision.com. Dykstra makes the free throw. St. Mary's down to the other end, draws a foul on the floor, so there will be no shot. First foul on the Bobcats here in this third quarter. St. Mary's will inbound from the baseline. It's Hannafin. Down low, Bamberger has it. She's one-on-one with Deeden. They're going to clear out for her. Now they bring Hannafin over the top, right back inside to Bamberger. White helps off. Hook shot, no good over Deeden, but Bamberger gets an O-board. Her second attempt, no good. Rebound brought down by Deeden. Outlet pass to Darian White up the far side. White weaving to the middle, throws a little lob up to Beatty. It's deflected out of bounds by St. Mary's, and the Cats will keep it on the baseline. White? No, White will not inbound. She was getting ready to go to the baseline, but Lamardo will be the one inbounding. Lamardo throws it long into Beatty. Beatty looking for the high-low, right down low to Deeden. Deeden one-on-one, baby hook to her left. And a lot of contact there, but the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's. It was deflected off of Bamberger playing defense that time. Darian White will inbound now from the baseline with 19 seconds on the clock. Quick entry into Lexi Deeden at the elbow. Deeden takes a bounce, spins to her left. Deep hook, a lot of contact. Kind of a clumsy-looking shot, but Deeden makes it fall. Quickly to the other end. Hail Mary pass in transition. Bamberger beats the Cats over the top, and she gets an and one as Lamardo was the last one chasing her down and got a lot of contact trying to prevent the easy layup. Bamberger knocked it in regardless. 50-30 now. It's a 50-32. They'll update that scoreboard. It's an 18-point Bobcat lead with 6:34 to go in the third quarter. And a nice bucket by Lexi Deeden turns right into a Bamberger and one on the other end. As Bamberger steps in to shoot, Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by Town Pump. Town Pump is a proud sponsor of the Brawl of the Wild rivalry series between Montana State University and the University of Montana. It's all sports, all season long. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions at your local Town Pump. Bamberger's free throw is up and good. 50-33 the score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Darian White will take the ball up the floor for the Cats. White working to the near side. Downhill. Step through move off the glass, no good. Rebound deflected out of bounds, and White takes a hard fall. Probably got fouled. No, they did call it. Okay. Foul called on Bamberger going for the rebound. And say White got knocked into the basket stanchion there. Beasley will inbound from the baseline for the Cats. A fresh 20 on the shot clock with that foul. Beasley throws it in long to Darian. White has it. She's going to dribble, fake the handoff over to Beasley. Now pass it to the elbow. Deeden has it. Deeden over to Jansen. Jansen hands off to Jackson. Jackson's going to go baseline right behind Jansen. Shot up, no good, and Madison Jackson draws the foul. So Madison Jackson will shoot 2 free throws. That foul called on Leah Hannafin. That's just her second foul. Jackson stepping up to the line. Jackson takes a bounce. First free throw on the way, and it's good. Before she takes her second, Montana State basketball is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Credit Union, supporting Bobcat wins for over 75 years and counting. By member's choice, this financial institution is not federally insured. Each account is insured up to $250,000. Jack hits the second, and the Cats lead by 19, 52-33 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Dalton has it, now Bamberger. Bamberger works it near side to Whedon. Whedon, another shooter on this St. Mary's team, dribbles to her left, picked up by Jackson. She passes down low. With it is Bamberger. Spin move on Taylor Jansen. Nice move that time by Bamberger, but the hook does not fall as Jansen stays with it. Darian White to the other end. White at the left wing. Gets a screen towards the baseline from Deeden. Now passes out top to Jansen. High-low from Jansen into Deeden. Deeden spins back to her right, off the glass, no good. Deeden with the O-board, though. She's going to spin back to her left, put up another shot, and that one's good. Lexi Deeden gets the roll. 54-33. The Cats lead, and the inbound is stolen by Darian White. White, quick floater. It's good. Nothing but net. The Cats storming here in the second half. 56-33. They have their largest lead of the game. 5:11 to go in the third quarter. The Cats lead by 23, putting on a show here in the brick. To the other end, Whedon spins around Jackson, loses it. It's taken away by Taylor Jansen. Another turnover forced by Montana State. Beasley up ahead to Darian White. White towards the corner. She's going to drive baseline. Swing it out. Jackson saves it from going out of bounds, and now she'll dribble to her left. Jackson down the lane, loses it, picks it back up, throws it out to Jansen. Short corner jumper. Jansen off the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. It's Hannafin. Hannafin out to Dalton. Dalton in transition, a little hezzy move. Picks up her dribble, finds a cutter, layup up and good that time. Cutting back door was Aspen Garrison, and St. Mary's cuts it back to 21, 56-35 with 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter on your First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Darian White, quick trail three from Jansen, off the rim, that's no good. Rebound pulled down by Bamberger. Bamberger passes it up to Dalton. Dalton looking for the pitch-ahead pass in transition, and Beasley knocks it out of bounds. Last touch by the Bobcats. The Gales will get it back, but that won't happen until after our media timeout here. 4:16 to go in the third quarter, 56-35. Cats in the driver's seat. We'll go ahead and take a break and have more third quarter action coming up next. This is Bobcat Basketball from Learfield. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. Cats lead on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, 56-35. St. Mary's with the ball out of the timeout. With the ball's Kiersome. Kiersome passes to the far side. Here's a drive from Dalton. Skip pass, tipped off Beatty, and last touch by Mastera, She knocks it out of bounds, and that's great defense there by the Bobcats. Excellent ball pressure by Dylan Phillip. Leah Beatty anticipating in that passing lane, knocking it loose. Last touch by a Gale player, and the Cats have it. Grace Beasley running point across half court, passes it near side to Phillip. Phillip, quick entry into Deedon. Deedon at the post, spin move, and she is fouled. Lexi Deedon will head to the line for 2 free throws. As she does so, Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by Montana's Rib and Chop House, which has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon. Lexi Deedon's first free throw up and no good. She'll take one more. Deedon's second on the way, and it's good. Nothing but net. So Deedon splits the pair. And that's the first miss from the free throw line so far tonight from the Bobcats. They're now 11 for 12. St. Mary's with it. Dylan Phillip will pick up at half court. Cross half court is Mastera. And her pass is deflected out of bounds by Grace Beasley. St. Mary's will keep it. And again, some serious pressure from these Bobcat guards. Right now on the court, it's Dylan Phillip and Grace Beasley who are the main culprits. With the ball's Kiersome inside. Passes it to the elbow. Back out to Kiersome from West. Kiersome works out back to West at the high post. Now a handoff to Mastera. Mastera runs into traffic. It's stolen away by Leah Beatty. Beatty wasting no time in transition. She takes to the elbow. Pitches it back to Beasley. Back to Beatty. Corner three. Leah Beatty. Leah buckets. It's good. 60-35. The Cats lead by 25. 3:15 to go in this third quarter here in Bozeman, and the Cats cannot miss from outside. That's another Bobcat 3 sponsored by Wendy's. As here's the driving kick for St. Mary's. 3 on the other end from Farmer, no good. Rebound brought down by Beatty, and Beatty's got a wide open Grace Beasley in transition off the glass, and it's good. And Leah Beatty flying out of center field, jumping in to grab the rebound off a make, of course. It wasn't necessary, but I think she jumped about 35 inches in the air on that one, it seemed like. To the other end, it's St. Mary's. And that assist right there by Beatty was sponsored by Aware Mental Health Services. As Farmer looks to drive, it's poked out by Phillip. And the Cats are turning defense into offense as Beasley pitches it ahead to Phillip. A quick layup from Phillip is good. And that assist from Grace Beasley is sponsored by Aware Mental Health Services. The Bobcats are rolling, folks. There are no two ways about it. We got a timeout into a media timeout, so we'll go ahead and take it. 2:34 to go in the third quarter. The Cats lead 64-35 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. Out of the timeout, it's St. Mary's going right to left across your radio dial. With the ball is Dalton. Dalton passes ahead to the near wing. With it now it's Kiersholm. Kiersholm guarded by Beasley. Takes it to her left. Passes back out top. With it now is Rapp. Rapp driving downhill. Loses it out of bounds, but a foul called. And Dylan Phillip flabbergasted by that call, but I think pretty safe to say that was a trip. Inbounding from the baseline is St. Mary's. They get a fresh 20 on the shot clock with the foul. Inbounding is Hannah Rapp. Rapp passes it to the corner. It's Kiersholm. Kiersholm now at the top. Far side West in the corner. St. Mary's looking to get that offense in motion, but just being denied constantly by the Bobcats. Outside, Dalton gets it. Open look for three off the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by Grace Beasley. And Dalton cooling down a little bit in the second half as the Cats are going into transition again. Dylan Phillip finds Taylor Jansen. Easy layup, and the Cats lead by 31 points. 66-35 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Minute 40 to go in the third quarter. Bobcats are rolling. And do they get another steal? They do. Grace Beasley off to the races to the other end, laying off the glass, and they're going to call her for a travel. Oh. Well, that's no fun. Guess I've been watching too much NBA. 66-35, Cats in the lead. 1:29 to go in the third quarter. Just an extra step there from Beasley after she got the catch right in front of the three-point line. Here comes St. Mary's. Bamberger has it at the elbow. Bamberger out to Kiersholm. She drives to her right. Step through move. Nice little Euro step off the glass. It's no good nonetheless. And we got a loose ball on the floor and no tie-up. Neither team could really grab it. And then coming out of the pile was Amy West as she passes back out to Dalton, and a foul called on Dylan Phillip. Once again, she's not pleased. A little bit of a body check there out on the wing. 4 fouls on the Bobcats now in this quarter. They're 1 away from the bonus. St. Mary's inbounds it. At the top, it's Rapp. Rapp looks for the entry pass, and Leah gets that foot out there. Off the foot of Leah, kick ball. St. Mary's will keep it with 20 on the shot clock. Near side, inbounding is Kiersholm. Dylan Phillip, nice job denying the ball. Getting the catch now out top is Dalton. Dalton goes to the high post. West. West. Skips to the far side. Entry pass deflected by Beatty, and the Bobcats were coming up with a steal, but a foul called on Cola Badbear. They're going to say she wrapped around trying to get front position there on the low block. And a lot of Bobcat players with some pretty funny facial expressions after that one, as going to the line now for 2 shots is Allie Bamberger. Bamberger at the line. First free throw up. It's no good. Before her second, Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by the Montana State Fund. This game is brought to you by Montana State Fund, covering Montana's workers with workers' comp and safety know-how. Workplace safety, you're naked without it. More at safemt.com. Second free throw, no good from Bamberger. And we got a loose ball, and Mara Dykstra fouled not 1, not 2, but probably 3 different times. And now it's blown dead. The Cats will keep it. Foul called that time on Hannah Rapp as Dykstra was diving for the loose ball, and it just seemed like body after body were toppling straight over her head. She's okay, though. And we're in the bonus now on this end, so Dykstra will get 2 free throws out of it, and that's nothing new for Mara Dykstra. There were a lot of times throughout the summer and the fall where the coaches kind of had to tell her to dial it back a little bit in practice because she kept getting hit. First free throw up from Dykstra is up and good. A lot of bloody lips and bloody noses, but that's why they love her. She's tough. Dykstra, free throw up is good. She hits them both. 68-35, Cats in the lead. 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's been all Bobcats in this third quarter. Down low, it's Bamberger. At the block, kicks it out. Three-pointer on the way is up and good from Dalton. Wide open inside-outside 3 as the Bobcats got caught sleeping a little bit there on defense. I said in the pregame it's going to happen sometimes, but you know when you're up 35 and it happens, I think you can live with that as Dykstra works it to the elbow, passes out to Badbear. Cola Badbear working to her right, hands off Beasley. Beasley, crossover. Ooh, that's nice. She drives down the lane, off the glass. It's good. Grace Beasley taking ankles out there. 70-38. Cats lead with 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Girasome passes to Dalton. 3 from Dalton over Phillip. No good. Loose ball, and we got bodies flying all over the place. Nothing doing, though. The clock's going to run out, and we're going to go to the fourth quarter. The Bobcats lead 70-38 on the first Interstate Bank scoreboard after just a masterclass of a third quarter by this Montana State team. And Coach Binford's got to be happy with what she's seen out there tonight. The Bobcats close the third on a 14-3 run. We'll go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll have fourth quarter action here from Bozeman. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the first Interstate Bank broadcast booth. St. Mary's has it out of the timeout. With the ball up top is Dalton. Dalton, guarded by Darian White, passes it to the elbow. Here's a handoff, looking to get it downhill. The Gales get it back out to Dalton. Dalton out to Curasome. Open three. Curasome off the rim. It's no good. Loose ball on the rebound. It's brought down by St. Mary's. Dalton open look from three. That's no good, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. Cats will get it back. 70-38 your score on the first Interstate Bank scoreboard. Montana State in the driver's seat here. 9.5 minutes to play. Across half court, it's Darian White for the Bobcats, getting them into their offense. Handoff to Lamardo. Lamardo looking to cut. Gets it out to Deedon. Deedon, now Darian White in the corner. White out to Dykstra. Dykstra going to work it over to Lamardo instead. No, she's going to pick it up and pass it back over to White. 10 seconds on the shot clock. White's going to call for the screen. Gets it from Deedon downhill out to Dykstra. Three on the way from Dykstra off the rim. No good. Offensive rebound brought down by Madison Jackson. She saves it. Falls right into the bench. And the Cats have a fresh 20 seconds as White passes to the far side. Lamardo back to White. And White will call a play from the top. Shot clock inside 10 seconds now. White gets a screen, passes it back out to Deedon. Long two from Deedon. It's good. Lexi Deedon knocks it down, and the Cats lead 72-38. That assist there from Darian White, brought to you by Aware Mental Health Services. Curasome to the other end. Far side on the wing. Picks up a screen going down the middle. Passes it to the corner. Now down low. They find Bamberger. Bamberger about a step away from the block. She turns, faces, shoots a jumper over Dykstra, and knocks it in for 2. 8:18 to go in the ballgame. Cats lead by 32 points, 72-40. Mara Dykstra out top, looking for a cutter. Instead, passes it to the far side, Darian White. White takes the 3 off the rim, no good. Board, Lexi Deaton, she puts up a quick shot, and it's rebounded by St. Mary's. Pulling it down that time is Leah Hannafin. Gearsholm up the court. They swing it back over to Garrison. Now down low, Bamberger looking for a cutter. Dalton, it's knocked loose by the Bobcats. Mara Dykstra gets the steal. Dykstra running the floor in transition like a point guard. She dumps it off to Darian White. White's floater is blocked. Rebound brought down by Bamberger. Lexi Deaton knocks it loose, but Bamberger picks it back up. Here comes St. Mary's. Gearsholm looking to drive, loses it out of bounds, but a foul called on KJ Lamardo. That's Lamardo's 3rd foul. St. Mary's will inbound from the baseline. Inbounding Hannafin. Hannafin looking to throw to the elbow. Garrison comes up with it. Garrison to Gearsholm. Guarded by Darian White at the far wing. Here's a drive downhill to her left. She pulls it back. Now looking for a cutter. Finds the backdoor cutter. Shot up and good that time from Taylor Dalton. Dalton having a nice game tonight. She's got a game-high 17. Darian White gets the screen. Passes out to Deaton. Deaton thinks about the 3. Now passes to the elbow. Dykstra looking to drive downhill off the glass. No good, but Mara Dykstra is fouled. And Mara Dykstra continues game by game to get so comfortable on the offensive end. We saw it in Wyoming. We're seeing it here tonight. She's just really patient with the ball, getting to her looks, taking the shots when necessary. 7:03 to go in the 4th. Cats lead by 30, 72-42 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Dykstra at the line. Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by Interwest Moving and Storage. Interwest Moving and Storage is the official moving company of the MSU Bobcats. Dykstra takes a couple bounces. First free throw up on the way. She knocks it in. She'll shoot one more. And before that, Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by DoorTech. Serving all your garage door needs, DoorTech is raising the door on quality. Second free throw from Dykstra is up and good. Cats lead by 32. 7 minutes to go in this one. Far side, St. Mary's with the ball. It's Hannafin. Down low, little give and go to Hannafin from Bamberger. She has nothing doing at the hoop, so they pick it back out. 3-pointer on the way from Dalton. It's good. And the Cats there, they defended the give and go or that Laker cut from the far side, looking to get it inside, and they defended it perfectly, but then nobody was on the outside. Wide open 3. So nicely done there by St. Mary's as the Cats lead 74-45. Dykstra has it on offense. She hands off to Darian White at the near side on the wing. White picks up her dribble at the top, looking for some motion. She finds Lamardo. Lamardo to Dykstra. Dykstra back to Lamardo. 3 from Lamardo. Got it! KJ Lamardo, have yourself a night. 77-45. Cats in the driver's seat. Near side, St. Mary's with the ball. It's Dalton. Dalton looking down low for Bamberger. It's deflected and stolen away by the Cats. Again, another turnover forced by this Montana State team. Lamardo thinks about another 3 on the near side. Oh, boy. Deaton at the top now. Now Deaton's going to take a 3. That one's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. KJ Lamardo with 18. She's 6 of 7 from the field, and the Bobcats defensively have been relentless. They forced 23 turnovers, as here's a shot by Dalton on the other end. It's blocked by the Cats and rebounded by Lexi Deaton. Deaton is going to push it up the court and now find her point guard, Darian White. White on the near side on the wing. Coach Binford wants a timeout. They'll go ahead and bring in some substitutions and make that immediate timeout. 5:27 to go in this ballgame. Cats lead in dominant fashion, 77-45 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. 5:27 to go in this ball game. Grace Beasley out of the timeout, working left to right. She hands off to Dylan Phillip. Phillip to the elbow. Bad Bear hands it off to Beatty. Downhill, Beatty kicks. Beasley, corner, three. Got it! Grace Beasley! Leah Beatty with the assist. Beasley knocks it down, and the Cats cannot miss from outside tonight. They lead now 80-45. St. Mary's with the ball. Out top. It's Whedon, excuse me. Far side. Now on the drive. It's Mastura. Shot up, no good. Rebound brought down by Beasley. And how about this Bobcat basketball team? 12-25 from three tonight. We love to see that. Colilla Bad Bear, Barry in transition at the block, turnaround, baby hook is up and good. Quick timeout by Coach Binford just to get a sub in. Bad Bear will get a rest. She's got 6 points, and Lindsey Hine will check in for the Cats. Hine out there now with Phillip, Beatty, Beasley, and Jansen. St. Mary's with the ball, out of the quick timeout, I should say. Taking the ball up the court is Kiersholm. Kiersholm. Guarded by Beasley. She gets the ball screen. Beasley goes right through it. Near side. Pump fake. Entry pass. With it is West at the low block. West backing down on Lindsey Hines. She's going to spin to her right. Baby hook off the glass. It's good. Cats get it back with an 82-47 lead. 4:17 to go in the fourth. It's Grace Beasley near side Phillip. Right down low. Lindsey Hine at the block. Turns, kicks it out to Beatty. Beatty takes the three. Good! Leah buckets from deep. The Cats lead 85-47. 4 minutes to go in this ball game. They just keep shooting and the shots keep falling. It is a beautiful sight here at the Brick as St. Mary's gets back downhill the other way, and a bucket is up and in from Hannah Rapp. Near side Dylan Phillip. Right down low. Lindsey Hine. Steps through to her right. Now double team. She gets it back out to Beatty. Beatty refuses the ball screen. Drives. No look pass. Phillip. Three on the way. Ooh, it's no good. Rebound brought down by St. Mary's. And Phillip called for a foul, crashing for that offensive rebound. Dylan Phillip's going to get a break. Lamardo will check back in. Madison Jackson also re-entering. Leah Beatty will get a rest. And Beatty having a nice game. 9 points for her. Not sure if we'll see her again in this ball game. St. Mary's across half court with the ball is Kiersholm. Kiersholm to her right, back to her left now. Entry pass thrown down low. It's West. West guarded by Hine. She's going to turn, look to shoot to her left, but a foul called on Lindsey Hine. West was looking to go up with it. Looked like she might have traveled, but a little contact on the body first, I guess. West will shoot two. She Does So Montana State Basketball is brought to you in part by First Interstate Bank. At First Interstate Bank, it's about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Member FDIC. First free throw up and no good from West. You'll shoot one more. And also Montana State Basketball is sponsored by 811. Call before you dig. Know what's below. Tap, click, or call 811 before you dig. Brought to you by Montana811.org. Second free throw good from West. She splits the pair. Cats lead by 35, 85-50. This is a masterpiece by Montana State as Beasley takes it to the other end and drives baseline. Out to Lamardo in the corner. Lamardo looking to get it to Hine. It's passed out, though, to Jackson. Jackson finds Lamardo. 12 on the shot clock. Cats got time. They get it back out to Beasley. Beasley gets a screen, pulls a three from Hine. It's no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Grace Beasley turned to the bench, says, I'm sorry, it's okay, Grace. We're winning by 35. We're going to be all right. 2:47 to go. Dylan Phillip checking back in, and Lamardo will get a rest again. I assume that's probably the last we see from Caitlin Lamardo. 5 on the floor for the Cats right now. Phillip, Jackson, Beasley, Jansen, and Hine. Kiersholm at the far side gets a screen from West, and a foul called. And it's on Dylan Phillip. Well, Lamardo thought she was going to have a breather for the rest of the game, but Phillip just picked up her 5th foul. Comedy of errors for Dylan Phillip, and not even errors, just accidents, a lot of them. 2:39 to go, 85-50. Some questionable calls on Dilly tonight, too, I must say. Up top, Kiersholm has it, crosses over to her right, Now back to her left, downhill. She kicks out Farmer. 3, it's good. Jasmine Farmer with the 3 ball. Cats lead 85-53 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. 2:21 to go in the ball game. Grace Beasley to the other end, works to the near side, hands off to Lamardo. Lamardo back to Beasley. Beasley looking for a screen from Hine, drives baseline, off the glass, it's good. Grace Beasley getting to the rim as she always does. 87-53. Cats continue to pile it on with 2 minutes to go. 3 on the other end, quick 3 in transition. It's up and good that time from Addison Whedon. And she's got 9 points as well. She's one of their best shooters from outside on this St. Mary's team. Beasley takes it up the court. Nothing doing. She's going to pass it over to Madison Jackson. Jackson at the top, crossover, looking to pull up, instead passes to Hine. Hine with a little power dribble in the lane, passes it out to Lamardo. Lamardo looking to get it out to Beasley. It's deflected out of bounds by a St. Mary's player, and the Cats will keep it from the baseline with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Beasley will inbound. Substitution in for St. Mary's. Checking back in is McKenna Mastora. Inbounding Beasley. Beasley throws a lob to Jackson. Jackson catches it, puts it on the ground, puts it up, and is fouled. Madison Jackson will go to the line for 2 free throws. That's Farmer's second foul. Madison Jackson heading to the line as she does so. Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by the Billings Clinic. Join Champs New Kids Club, presented by Billings Clinic Bozeman. Your $25 membership fee gets you game tickets, Bobcat gear, and more. Sign up today at msubobcats.com/champskidsclub. Jackson's first free throw is no good. Her second one is on the way, and that one's good. St. Mary's will get it back, trailing 88-56. Montana State basketball is also brought to you in part by Bridger Brewing. Bridger Brewing is home to award-winning locally crafted beer and pizza. Bridger Brewing, cheers to every adventure being better than the last. Here's a layup on the other end, up and no good by the Gales. Rebound brought down by Jackson. She'll pass it out to Beasley, and Beasley will tell her teammates to slow it down a little bit. 1:08 to go, and the Bobcats will likely run a lot of this clock off. Maybe not, as Beasley picks up the ball screen, gets straight downhill, looking to pass it out. She finds Hine at the elbow. Hine out to Jackson. Jackson, pull-up jumper at the elbow, off the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by Beasley, though, and the Cats will keep it. Beasley slowing it down again. Jansen, Lamardo. How about one more for the road, KJ? It's good! KJ Lamardo for the 3! 91-56, excuse me, and the Cats will put this one away in dramatic fashion as KJ Lamardo has 21 points. On the other end, St. Mary's laying is up and no good. Beasley will take it up the court. About an 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Beasley's going to call the play. Get a screen from Hine. Now Jansen. Jansen out top. She's going to take the 3 off the rim. No good. Rebound St. Mary's. 18 seconds to go. And the Gales will dribble it to the other end with 13 seconds now. Kiersome has it. Kiersome looking for a screen. To her left now. Nothing doing. 3 seconds. She puts up a 3 over Lamardo. Blocked by Lamardo. And that'll run timeout here in Bozeman. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. Montana State 91, St. Mary's 56. How about these Montana State Bobcats, ladies and gentlemen? A commanding win after the 10-day hiatus. And now they'll look to take that into Maui. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have the Montana State post-game show sponsored by Rib and Chop House. 91-56, your final on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally here bringing you the Montana State post-game show, sponsored by Rib and Chop House, home of premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs, all served in a casual atmosphere. And the Bobcats victorious tonight at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, 91-56 on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. A commanding win for this Montana State women's basketball team. Coming off of a 10-day stretch with no games, they come out, no sign of any rust. If you were here, you saw it. No sign of any rust. They just went right to work. They start the game on an 18-2 run, and from there it was just sunshine and roses, 91-56. Just a complete wire-to-wire dominating performance by this Montana State basketball team. Before we look at some post-game stats, I want to remind you that Montana State basketball is brought to you in part by the Come On In. The Bozeman Come On In Hotel and Suites is a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics and the Montana State Alumni Association. The Come On In allows you to escape the ordinary while enjoying their numerous hotel and guest room amenities. Visit ComeOnIn.com to book your stay today. 91-56, the final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. And how about these Montana State Bobcats shooting the lights out in all three facets? 31 of 64 from the field, coming in at 48.4%. 13 of 29 from three, 44.8% there, and 16 of 18 from the free throw line, 88.9%. St. Mary's, on the other hand, a little bit of a different story. 21 of 53 from the field, 10 of 20 from three, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line. And, 18 free throw attempts versus 7 from the other team. Pretty dominant there by Montana State. And now we're going to get a special guest, one of our good friends here on the post-game show. That's the head coach, Tricia Binford. And Coach Binford, I know we came into this game with high hopes and a lot of confidence, but 91-56, that really is something. Talk about how your team played tonight.
It's hard to describe. First of all, we came out shooting the ball really well. KJ had an exceptional game, tied some career highs there as far as threes per game. I think she's tied Coach Bussey's in uniform. And so those were the things that you're trying to rest kids at the end. And she was chomping at the bit. She was in the zone. But more importantly, just our entire lineup. I wish we could have played. We had some kids that had some injuries today, but our entire lineup gave us just great minutes, and our defense made some adjustments at halftime that I thought really paid dividends. I loved what we did on the defensive end. I loved how we shared the ball today. Just really proud, and sometimes you need that extra week. We had a lot of games and some stretches. We had a chance to focus on ourselves and get right back, and we did this during finals week, so just a great job.
And I know you talked a lot this week about how this team is at its best when you're sharing the ball. You get over 15 assists, you got multiple players scoring in double figures. That happened tonight, all of those things, and there was a lot of really nice looks in transition. Another thing you guys have been working for, a lot of turnovers forced. You guys forced St. Mary's to 23 turnovers. It seems like all the things that you wanted to emphasize this week all came into fruition tonight. Talk about the execution of the game plan.
Yeah, for sure. As far as, just being locked in, Scotta gave us some really brilliant words yesterday as far as out-teaming and what that looks like. And sometimes, stats can get in the way and what it looks like just to be a great team and how you protect each other on the defensive end, how you execute on the offensive end, that ball not sticking. And we had an opportunity this week to really get our possessions through an entire shot clock and what that looks like from a rhythm standpoint. And that ball just moved very well. We also had some fresh legs that we got to rotate in, and I thought that really was super important. But like you said, just your execution of that game plan. The one stat, and I never got a final look at it, St. Mary's is traditionally really good at getting to the foul line, and I knew we were up on that.
18 attempts for us, 7 for them.
So that was another major stat for us, and as far as having post rotating on their post play, that's very talented. I thought that was huge, having Cola Badbear back in the mix for us as well. We had Lexi with a little bit of foul trouble, so able to continue rotating some fresh posts there. But the guard play, getting through the ball screens, I thought our pressure consistency of that is really caused some of those extra possessions of some steal opportunities to get out and run.
I wanted to ask you a little more about what we saw from KJ Lamardo tonight. We've talked before about how much of an asset she is and how dangerous she can be when that jumper gets going. We've seen it. Relentless defense all season long. Sunny and I talked about that a lot on the halftime show as well. But tonight she came out and just shot the lights out and really, put this game away before St. Mary's could even blink. Talk about her performance a little more.
Just, sometimes you're in the zone, and KJ was certainly in it. I know she was 5 for 5 at halftime, and obviously talked about that with the team, finding the hot hand, and expected some adjustments on the defensive end. But she just really was looking for her shot early on. We thought she passed up a few. She's so unselfish. She's trying to share the ball, and we're like, KJ, you're in the zone, take the shot. But this is a kid that is deserving of every single one of those makes. When you talk about building some confidence, there, I can't tell you how many shots that she gets up per week and how many made shots. She's deserved the opportunity to be super confident and take every single one of those. And I know her teammates trust her, our staff trusts her. More importantly, we trust her on both ends of the floor. But it's really nice to see that kid play with a smile on her face out there, because she's always super focused and locked in. So to see that smile down the stretch was really fun.
And your team, you guys get your rings before the game, at least the returners from last year's conference championship team. You think that, gave them a little extra motivation to go out there tonight and put on a show?
Hey, that's Leon Costello's, his thought process going into the game. He really wanted to do it before the game. We were going to maybe surprise him in the locker room, and sometimes you need that extra visual of what you're shooting for, right? And they had just maybe 5 seconds to even look at the rings, so now they get to put them on tonight. Those things are big, they're blinging, and can't wait to give them to last year's group as well. So those of our team from last year that weren't here, we'll get them in the mail. We'll get to them as soon as possible.
Any final thoughts from tonight's game and for what's ahead for the team?
No, just super proud, and go get focused on your for your test. Finish strong on the academic side. We're really thankful and appreciative of our professors helping us make this work. We don't typically do a game during finals week. It was the only day that it would work for St. Mary's, and we've got some pretty fantastic professors, and we've got really dedicated students. So I want them to go be great students, and then we'll get ready for our next road trip. And it's going to be an exciting place given all the snow we're getting today.
Coach, as always, I appreciate your time. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Daniel.
That was Tricia Binford joining me on the Montana State postgame show, sponsored by Ribbon Chop House. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, 91-56. Montana State gets the home win against St. Mary's. We'll go ahead and take a break and have more postgame coming up next. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, bringing you the Montana State postgame show, sponsored by Rib and Chop House. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. What a win tonight for Montana State. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, 91-56 in favor of the Bobcats. And again, just a lights-out performance. And every way, shape, and form. No rust on these Bobcats. Despite the 10-day hiatus with no games, they come out here, they light it up from the field. They play outstanding defense. They force 23 turnovers. This team is dangerous on this home court, and we've seen it time and time again this season. We're going to continue to see it as they get closer to conference play. So really kudos to this team for the performance they put on tonight, and a fantastic win for this Montana State team. And now let's go ahead and take a look at our McDonald's post-game delivery of the game, presented by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. And was there ever any doubt? It's KJ Lamardo, and she delivered time and time again from downtown. Each time, KJ Lamardo 7 of 8 from 3. A fantastic performance by her. She finishes with 21 points. She also had 3 steals. Defensively, she's probably been our best player on that side of the ball all season long. So to combine those 3 steals with the 21 points, really a fantastic game for KJ Lamardo. Super proud of her for the performance she put on tonight, and really just a lot to be excited about with the way she played in this ball game as the Bobcats go on for a 91 to 56 games, or 91 to 56 win here in the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Like I said, it's really every facet. I mean, we talked about the stats earlier, but 31 of 64 from the field, that's really special. And 13 of 29 from 3. You can't ask for much better from beyond the arc from this Montana State team. I mean, Leah Beatty was 3 for 5. She added 9 total points. Grace Beasley finished in double digits with 11. Mara Dykstra finished with 12. I mean, come on. Really just an outstanding performance by this Montana State team on both ends of the court. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at our highlights of the game presented by First Security Bank. Bobcats win on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, 91-56. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Back from the break, Daniel Sally here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, bringing you the Montana State postgame show, sponsored by Rib and Chop House, home of premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs, all served in a casual atmosphere. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard: Montana State 91, St. Mary's 56. And before we continue with our postgame show, let's go ahead and pause for a moment for station ID. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield. Daniel Sally back here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard: Montana State 91, St. Mary's 56. Just a big-time win for this Montana State basketball team, as they had a tough loss at Laramie, Wyoming a couple weeks ago, 10 days ago to be exact. And then they had some time to come back to Bozeman, focus on themselves a little bit, practice, run their own stuff, get sharper on the defensive end. You know, a lot of things, identity stuff that they wanted to reinforce coming into this big stretch of games here before the holiday. And boy, did they do just that. They were fantastic in this ball game, and a lot of highlights to get through. So let's go ahead and take a listen to our highlights of the game, sponsored by First Security Bank. Daniel Sally back here inside the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, and those were your highlights of the game, sponsored by First Security Bank. The Bobcats with a commanding 91-56 win here tonight at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. And before we cut to break, I want to remind you that Montana State basketball is sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of Montana. Real milk is a nutrient-rich product. It contains 13 essential nutrients from vitamin A to zinc, all of which are important for a healthy immune system and overall wellness. That's 13 nutrients with seemingly endless benefits. Reach for milk and make every sip count. Your final score, 91-56. We'll go ahead and take one more break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Bozeman. Bobcats win 91-56. This is the Montana State postgame show from Learfield. First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, bringing you the Montana State postgame show, sponsored by Ribbon Chop House, home of premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs, all served in a casual atmosphere. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard: Montana State 91, St. Mary's 56. And as I've said about 1,000 different times on this postgame show, a commanding win. Dominant by this MSU basketball team tonight, coming out on their home floor, showing up and showing out for the home crowd. They get the rings presented on the court before the game. It was a surprise for the players. They seemed pretty excited, and it motivated them, I think. I think that really helped. And, I don't know, with how big they won tonight, you think it's maybe not the factor, but I think it was a factor, I believe. That is safe to say. So just really a nice win by this Montana State team. And they got a couple big games coming up as they get ready to head to Maui and get tropical down there on the islands. Let's look ahead to the Bobcats' next game, though, versus LSU, presented by Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK and cataract surgeon of the Montana State Bobcats. And this LSU team, they're no joke. Kim Mulkey, the head coach, one of the most famous women's basketball coaches to ever live. They're currently ranked, looks like, number 11 in the country. So that's that's what they got going on over there in Louisiana and Baton Rouge. 9-0 on the season, and really they're just they've been doing it in every sense. They've won some games by some really staggering final scores. They play Lamar on Wednesday before they take off to Maui, so that'll be a game that they play in Baton Rouge before taking off over to Hawaii to play in the Maui Gym Classic there, hosted by Oregon State. And their last game they won against Tulane 85-72. They won before that by 18 against Southeastern Louisiana. They've scored over 100 points. It looks like about 5 different times. No, make that 6 different times as I look at their schedule. I mean, this LSU team, they're the real deal. Kim Mulkey's got them turned into a well-oiled machine over there in Baton Rouge. So that's going to be a tough matchup for this Bobcat team. But, all bets are off if the Bobcats play the way they did tonight. That's for sure. Really just an outstanding win for this Montana State team. That's your Vance Thompson Vision look ahead at our next game against LSU. Like I said, there'll be 2 games coming up this weekend. LSU, the first one on Saturday. That'll start at 10, or tip off, I should say, at, I believe, 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 p.m. Mountain Time. So we'll have that starting at 9:45 live from Maui. And then on Sunday, they'll play Nevada Reno a little earlier. That one will tip off at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 7:45 pregame on that one anywhere on the Bobcat Radio Network. So couple of exciting games. I know this Maui trip is one that's been circled on the calendars for the team, for myself, for obvious reasons, for the coaches. I mean, I think it's going to be a really fun trip, great for the team, and a couple of really tough opponents while we're down there that'll be really telling as we get ready to head into conference play. After that, don't forget as well that we got one more home game before the holiday here at the Brick. Cal Poly coming to town on Wednesday, December 21st. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip-off as well. And if you can't get here, well, good news for you. I'll have the call on that one as well. Pre-game show starting at 6:45 Mountain Time. So 3 big games coming up for this Bobcat team as they get ready for the Christmas holiday and the start of conference season. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up at that 91-56. Your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard, and again, just as convincing as a win as you can have for Montana State. So really just a wonderful evening here inside the Brick, and the cherry on top, just a big win and a massive performance by KJ Lamardo, who finished 7 of 8 from 3 with 21 points. Really just a job well done, and she was at the forefront of it. But that's going to do it for tonight's coverage from the Brick. 91-56, like I said, your final score on the First Interstate Bank scoreboard. For John in the studio, I'm Daniel Sally saying goodnight, and go Cats here from the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. This is Montana State basketball from Learfield.